Okay, so here we go. We're going to find distances on the xy plane. This is also a distance formula. You can use Pythagorean Theorem essentially to do this. This is useful for determining if you're looking at a parallelogram, a square, a rectangle, what kind of shapes you're looking at, or possibly proving if things are dilations of each other or similar figures. So here's what's going to happen. We're basically going to have 4 points. Usually, they might be given to you. You might have to graph them, but I have 4 points right around here. I want to find the distance of these sides and see maybe this thing's a rhombus, maybe all the sides are equal, maybe they're not, maybe the opposite sides are equal. We're going to find that out. So the easy ones are when we're directly on a horizontal axis or a vertical axis, like these right here. We can literally just count the difference between these two points. But the easier way to do it, if it's not nicely written, so that point A is 1, 1, and this point D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5, 1. Okay, so the easiest way to do this, if they're not perfectly lined up on the corners, is literally just subtract the x numbers. What's 5 minus 1? Those are my x's. It's going to be 4. That distance 4. If not, you just count blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. But they're not always perfectly on the corners. Same thing here. The coordinates of this point are going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. These are 3, 3. I'm sorry, I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And this one is going to be 7, 4. Those are the coordinates I'm looking at. So looking at these, if I want to count this distance, it's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I can't figure it out, I just subtract 7 minus 3, and I get 4. So those are really easy because they're directly horizontal or directly vertical. These are not horizontal, they're not vertical, so I can't count them that way. So what I'm going to do is actually pretty simple. I'm going to connect the points at perfectly horizontal and vertical lines. And by doing that, I create this shape. I create a right triangle right there. You create a right triangle. And you can count this the way we counted before. What's the difference vertically? It's going to be 4 minus 1, the y values, which is 3. Or you can count the blocks, but counting blocks doesn't always work. And horizontally, it's going to be this x, which is 5, and this x, which is 7. You're going to subtract those. 7 minus 5 is going to be 2. So you have a triangle with legs that are 2 and 3. You're simply going to go and do our favorite theorem, which is the Pythagorean theorem, which is 2 squared plus 3 squared equals, and this is what we really want to know. We'll call it D for distance, distance squared. It's leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse. From here, it's pretty easy as long as you have a calculator handy, or you don't even need a calculator, but it's going to be 4 plus 9 equals D squared. So 13 equals D squared, or D equals the square root of 13. Don't know why I put my equals there, but I'm going to put it here now. So it's the square root of 13. There's 2 ways we could do that, and by the way, when we do this, we're going to end up with the same situation. Just different ways to get there. This is going to be 3 and 2. We're going to get the same exact setup, and we're going to get square root of 13 for that as well. So there's 2 ways we could write this. We could write the square root of 13. That's an exact answer because we're not taking decimals. Or you can actually take your calculator, compute that, and you will get 3.61. So I could put square root of 13, or I could put 3.61. Either one is fine, they're the same thing. Bottom line, when you look at this, I can now compute the perimeter if I want. The perimeter would be 4 plus 3.61 plus 4 plus 3.61, perimeter. Or I could find the area. It would be the base, which is 4, times the height. I don't have the height right here, but now I do because it's a right angle. The height is 3. It'd be 4 times 3 is 12 is the area of this, because it's a parallelogram. And I can determine it's a parallelogram because the opposite sides are 4 and 4. The opposite sides here are equal. And by that, it's going to be a parallelogram. It's not a rectangle because there's no right angles. It's not a rhombus because all the sides aren't equal. It's not a square because we don't have all equal sides and all equal angles. But basically, that's what you're going to do to find the distance between 2 points. You're going to do Pythagorean theorem. Alrighty, that should help you do a lot of different applications.